Hi everyone, my name is Gigi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the act of selfishness and how being selfish is not the negative thing most of society will teach you it is, and why being selfish is actually the key to unlocking the better version of yourself. There is a lot of negativity behind the word selfish. A lot of the time it's used as an insult, but the reality of selfishness is not bad. Selfishness is actually the act of putting yourself first, which in most cases is actually the most important thing to do. So I really want to go over why it is so important to be selfish and put yourself first, and how doing that will change the way you not only view your own life, but how you help the people around you. Now, you've probably experienced this firsthand. As soon as you start saying no and you start putting yourself first, you'll often be met with criticism that you're selfish, and a lot of the time we take offense to that. We are taught growing up that we have to put other people first, that being kind is putting other people's needs above your own. Now, of course, it is incredibly important to be kind and to consider other people's thoughts and feelings and their own life circumstances. But what we shouldn't be doing is putting that above ourselves. That statement alone might have you already putting in my comments, "That sounds awful, how could you be like that?" But that is why I'm making this video. A lot of people mistake being selfish with being self-absorbed, to only considering yourself. But that is not what selfishness is. Selfishness is not just completely disregarding other people. Selfishness is not considering people's feelings or thoughts or what they may have been through. Selfishness is the act of first considering yourself, then afterwards considering those around you. Now, this is not an excuse to be a terrible person, but it's what is important so you can do that next step of considering those around you. The perfect example of the act of selfishness is often what you will hear in emergencies. Extreme cases where you first have to treat yourself before you can treat those around you. You've probably heard it on planes when they're doing the safety demonstration, not to help other people until you have helped yourself. A lot of the time it's in the case of when the oxygen masks drop down, to first apply your own oxygen mask before you help those around you. This is because of the fact of how are you meant to help other people when you are actively not able to help yourself? If you're not being supplied oxygen, how are you going to help those around you if you're actively starving yourself of oxygen? This is the exact same situation, but just in less extreme cases. You can apply the act of selfishness to every single point in your life. Now, you're probably sitting there and wondering, well, how does this apply to me? Why does this have to be part of my journey in becoming a better version of myself? It is because a lot of your emotional burnout will be because you're not putting yourself first. I cannot tell you how many times I put other people above my own self. I considered their feelings before mine, and in doing so, I became incredibly burnt out. I lost touch with who I was. I was so busy putting myself into everyone else's shoes, putting myself out of my way to help others, that in doing so, I bled myself dry. I was exhausted, I was angry, I was frustrated, but not at anyone else, just within myself. I had given so much of myself that I had nothing left to give. In helping others, I was damaging myself. And that is why being selfish is so important and why it's not a bad thing. Because if I had just put myself first, if I had considered my own feelings first, my own life situations, my tiredness level, my tolerance, then I would have been able to help these people. I would have been able to be the friend, the girlfriend that they needed. But because I failed to treat myself first, because I didn't listen to myself and my own body when it was crying for help, I not only let myself down, but I let those around me down. The moment I realized all of this, and the moment I shifted my perspective of what being selfish is, I cannot tell you the amount my life changed. The moment I started putting myself first, the moment I started being selfish, the moment I started being me. When I regathered all of my energy, when I put time into myself, when I said no to things I couldn't do, rather than pushing myself to do it anyway, I cannot tell you how much I not only helped myself, but was able to help those around me. When I allowed myself to truly focus on me, I was able to help more than just me. Because selfishness is not about ignoring those around you. It's about making choices that you know will help you and in turn help those around you. Being true to yourself doesn't make you a bad person. Saying no to things doesn't make you a bad person. Setting boundaries that will help you does not make you a bad person. Because I will say it again, you cannot help the people around you if you are not helping yourself. People feed off of each other, whether it's habits, energy, whatever it is. People take example from other people. So if you're trying to help everyone around you, but you yourself cannot help yourself, you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're frustrated, you're sad, you're angry, whatever it is, and you're trying to help the people around you first, they are going to see through that. They're going to feed off of that. And let me ask you, if you are not taking your own advice, but you're giving everyone around you advice, you are then not a reliable source. People look for examples. And if you're so busy giving all of this advice and help to the people around you, but you aren't taking your own advice, you are not showing them what it means to take that advice, to understand that advice. You are not an example of your own words. I think I have always been known as the therapy friend. I'm always down to help people. I'm always down to sit and listen. But there was a point in my life where I took that very, very seriously. Rather than just being the therapy friend, I was the therapist. I had put my other friends' needs before my own to the point I had completely lost myself. I was incredibly depressed. I was incredibly burnt out, not only with the friendship, but myself, my own feelings, my own thoughts. I felt like I had detached from myself so I could help those around me because I didn't value my own feelings and thoughts. I was exhausted, but what was more important to me was making sure my friend was okay. But how was I supposed to be a good example for that person when I was struggling myself? I gave my absolute everything, and that is just the type of person I am. I tend to give my absolute everything to people, but the reality is you shouldn't. It is incredibly important to retain your own positive energy, to retain good mental health, and to focus on yourself. Once you have that base, once you know that is a solid thing that you can keep, then you can help those around you. Because again, you cannot help people around you if you are the shell of the person you used to be. If you continue to focus on others around you first, you will be sucked dry of all of your energy, all of your happiness. You will be burnt out, you'll be stressed, you'll be frustrated. The moment you start saying yes to everything is the moment you lose your identity within yourself. Keeping yourself in an environment that does not serve you is the moment you lose yourself. So to focus on you, to focus on your own energy, your own life, your own well-being is to be selfish. And again, being selfish, the word selfish should not have a negative meaning. But to be selfish, you have to start thinking of yourself first. And how you're going to do this is quite simple. Firstly, you're going to start saying no. As soon as your mind or your body tells you that you don't want to do something, voice that. Now, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Someone might mention going out. Someone might mention meeting up. Someone might mention are you available to have this deep conversation? I really need to talk about stuff. And you get that pit. You get that pit of, I'm so tired right now. I'm so drained right now. I really don't think I can be there for this person, but I have to be because they're my friend. You get this feeling of dread. And as soon as you get that, rather than just agreeing anyway, you're going to say no. You're going to say, I'm so sorry, currently I'm not in the right mindset to help. I'm so sorry, I don't think I'm going to be the best help right now. I'm really tired. Maybe tomorrow we can talk about it. Maybe we can meet up later in the week and discuss everything once you've cooled down a little bit. Or even, I really want to help you and I know that you need someone to talk to. So let's do this when we're both in the right mindset to think about this and process this together. Just that simple redirection of your energy. Just that simple no is the start of you bringing that importance back to yourself, bringing that energy back to yourself, so you can be there for that person in the best way possible. And you don't need to over-explain yourself. If you just want to say, no, I'm so sorry, I can't do that right now, that can be it. You do not owe anyone around you your energy. You're not their therapist. You're not getting paid to be there. And being a good friend doesn't equal being the only person that can take on that energy they're giving off. You cannot be a good friend if you are constantly taking on all this negativity and having it drain you and having it make you sad and angry. You need to protect your own peace. Secondly, is to set boundaries. Set a list of non-negotiables. So as soon as things start stepping out of those boundaries, you know you need to rein it in. These boundaries need to be strict. They need to be what you want for yourself and what your tolerance is. Like I said, being selfish is not about not thinking about others or not being there for others. It's about knowing how much you can be there for others, what your tolerance is, without burning yourself out, without losing your self-identity for others. So having a list of boundaries and non-negotiables that you know will keep your energy safe while still being a good friend, still being a good person, and understanding those around you will be what keeps you from being that awful person that's been associated with the word selfish, versus being someone who is able to keep themselves high energy, keep themselves positive, while also helping the people around them. Thirdly, you're going to remind yourself through affirmations. Every time you feel like you're giving too much, you're draining yourself, bring yourself back to phrases. My needs matter. I'm important too. My safe space is important and I need to protect that. It's safe for me to say no. It's safe for me to step away from this. My happiness in my safe place where I sit is so important to me, and I will not let anything damage that. Protecting yourself is not a bad thing. It is necessary. As soon as you let someone else's energy affect you, bring you down to their level, affect your mental health, affect your energy, that is where the problem lies. So being selfish is not the issue. Giving yourself when you have nothing to give is. If you want to be a kind person, if you want to be a good person, if you want to be there for the people you love, you must put yourself first. That is all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to comment down below and I'll try and get back to every single comment. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Bye!